Hey, I want to read to you tonight from Joshua chapter 24, verses 2 through 4. It says, And Joshua said to all the people, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, Your fathers, including Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, dwelt on the other side of the river in old times, and they served other gods. Then I took your father Abraham from the other side of the river, led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his descendants, and gave him Isaac. To Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave the mountains of Seir to possess, but Jacob and his children went down to Egypt. Now, God promised Abraham that he would make him into uh, the father of many nations, and that his children would be like the stars in the heavens. And he specifically promised this through his son Isaac. Abraham had many sons. He had Ishmael through Hagar, and he had many sons through Keturah later. But the promise was specifically through his son Isaac. And Abraham never saw the fulfillment of this while he still lived. And then Isaac received the same promise from God. And he had two sons, Jacob and Esau. And he also didn't see the fulfillment of that promise while he lived. He didn't inherit the land that God promised, and he didn't have many descendants. Now Esau had many descendants, and he became a great nation, and he inherited the land of Seir while he still lived. Unlike Isaac and Abraham, Esau received his promised inheritance while he still walked on earth. He saw it in his lifetime. Jacob, on the other hand, had many sons, but he didn't inherit the land. He went down to Egypt, and he and his descendants were slaves there for centuries. So Jacob also didn't see the fulfillment of God's promises was within his lifetime. So why did Esau receive his inheritance in the land, but Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't? Esau's mission in life, in all of history, is to be a destroyer. He is the enemy of God's people, and he is always at their neck. Jacob's mission in life is to be a builder. His descendants are to be a light to the world, to teach the nations God's ways, and ultimately to bring the Messiah into the world, and therefore salvation to all the world. Destruction is easy. You can tear down a building in a matter of seconds, but building it is hard. It takes months or years. All the really good things in life take time. You can win the lottery overnight, but to build lasting wealth that you and your children and your grandchildren will enjoy and appreciate takes many decades. You can have a one-night stand tonight, but to build a relationship that will support you and fulfill you in your old age takes decades. Even with metals, it takes time in the harshest refinement to produce the purest metals. Let me read to you from Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. Let's see. And it shall come to pass in all the land, says the Lord, that 2/3 in it shall be cut off and die, but 1/3 shall be left in it. I will bring the 1/3 through the fire, will refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, This is my people, and each one will say, The Lord is my God. Blessings are often delayed. This is part of God's plan. It's part of how he refines his people and produces a people of character and strength that can fulfill their promise in his plan. Don't be dismayed when your blessings are delayed, when you suffer for the kingdom's sake or for doing what's right. If you are faithful to God, if you believe in him, despite failures and despite setbacks and trials, and you're still breathing, then God isn't done with you. He is still building you, and you are still part of God's plan. And if you don't receive the tangible, visible blessings that come with obedience in this lifetime, you can be sure that you will in the lifetime to come, and that nothing that you are experiencing in this world is pointless or purposeless, as long as you keep faith with God and as long as you are trying to do the right thing and follow His plan. This is Jay Carper with American Torah. Be blessed.